again. Didn't I just commentate this match? Didn't I just? It's not like 840 again, is it? No, no, it's 920. It should be 840 again. So I have more time with y'all, and with Street Fighter. But unfortunately, for who knows what reason, time will only move forward. I keep asking nicely for it to pretty please stop sometimes, at least a little bit, for a little while. And then it says, if time stops moving, how will you know how long it's stopped for? And I say, I didn't ask for existential questions. I asked you to give it a break. Alright, I asked you to cut me some fucking slack, so can you do it or not? And then it just walks away, which I take as a no. Anyway, that has nothing to do with what's going on your screens right now, which is that a monkey ape man? Ape man? I'm going with ape man in a costume of himself is fighting a bear man, frankly. Not bear as in nothing on him, but bear as in I'm pretty sure he's half grizzly. In some tights. Which, if that doesn't scream Street Fighter, good, probably, right? I feel like that's not the main thing Street Fighter is known for. But if it does scream Street Fighter, that's awesome, because Street Fighter is what we're doing. First round, through the use of a super art, goes to GalaxyBrAn and his super heroic Blanka-chan. But Ironzhangief is not something that I would count out easily. Sorry, I'm listening to the bracket calls just to make sure. I think people know him in the commentary booth, but you know, I want to be sure that I'm not getting myself DQ'd. Although I guess that just means that if you won, you know, if I can be humble for a moment, the best commentary this side of the Northwest Territories over in Canada. You should distract me so that I get myself DQ'd, and then I don't have to get off of commentary. However, Blanka should be very careful because, well, because of this. It's because of that. because he's gonna die, and then that happened, and he did in fact die, tying the rounds up and leading us into round 3 on our first game. If this keeps up, it'll be a very close set, and if it doesn't keep up, then I just said random shit for no reason, which, you know what, there's worse things. I could be saying nothing, which is probably the worst thing, other than me saying things that are just horrible and evil. I've said before, I don't know if I said on stream, I said before, I feel like most level 3s do more damage than Blanka's level 3 does. Now, I also think that's justifiable, because look at look at the rest of Blanka's kit and then tell me that he needs a high damaging level 3, and maybe it's the same damage at all times. Oops. Maybe it's the same damage on all characters, but I feel like it's just less damage. Nevertheless, no level 3 would have killed there, and any jab would have killed there. So maybe everything I'm saying is irrelevant. Game 1 goes to Ironzhangief. He needs 3 to reset the bracket, and then he'll need 3 more if he wants to win. That's 6 games he has to win. I know that you already knew that, but I want you to think about how many fucking games that is. And that's assuming he wins every game. He would have to play and win 6 games in a row. I can't decide what's harder. That, well, I know what's harder. It's that. But more taxing, that or playing like 5 games and then 5 more and winning 6 out of the 10 of them. Both of those are just really hard to do. They're just really difficult to do. That's a lot of stamina you need. GalaxyBrAn doesn't need to have that kind of stamina right now. If he can put together 3 wins before you can, he's done. He can go home unless he's in another bracket or he wants to hang out after the bracket, which he should do because people here are cool. Oh, well, he should do if he wants to. I'm not going to tell him what to do, but people here are cool. But you don't have that luxury if you're Ironzhangief, is my point. You get it together, so that's 2 sets. 2 back-to-back sets against one of, according to this bracket, the 2 best Street Fighter players here. Now, I, for one, am against using the brackets from the last, 3 weeks for deciding how good people are at Street Fighter, because I have been playing bad the last couple of weeks, and I think I'm starting to figure out why. It's a mental thing, it's a stress thing, you know, how I've come in here like the last couple of weeks and complained about being exhausted from work. I think it turns out that has affected my gameplay as well, but perhaps its effect on my fighting gameplay is the least important thing that it's done to me. That's not the point. That sick lightning beast mix-up however, is the point, or at least one of the points. Because, I mean, if that's not going to be the point, what is? Look at that shit. And look at that perfect parry. And then he picks him up like 10 feet in the air and fucking seismic throws him like he's a Pokemon. Like he's a Pokemon. I may not play grapplers anymore. I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience anymore. I got shit to do in my life now. Back when all I needed to do was play fighting games, sure, I could play a grappler. But now, when I go home, what I want to do is not eat 100 projectiles walking at like a foot per minute. That being said, there's a reason to play grapplers in the first place. It's because it's just so satisfying to get a punish counter into a command throw that launches your opponent to the moon, and you jump up, grab them by the ankles, and slam them through the core of the earth. It's, you know, it's a good time. It's a good time for all, except your opponent, who is dead. Well, for this round, dead. Still, is it not 1-1? Is it me? Is it me, chat? Am I the problem? Do I keep imagining GalaxyBrAn victories? Or maybe it's P2 side victories? I could be imagining it. I don't know. Oh, no, it says one win on GalaxyBrAn side. The most recent one must have been his. I know that Ironzhangief won the first game, though. And he's up around now. We could be seeing a back and forth. Well, so far we are seeing back and forth. But we could be seeing like a more prolonged back and forth between these two very good players. So it's very reasonable that they could go back and forth with each other. And while I feel like Blanka has better tools in neutral in this matchup, his tools don't center as much around just straight up keeping Zangief on the opposite side of the screen. So I don't know that's necessarily as like brutal of a matchup as of a you know, favored versus disfavored neutral matchup as a lot of things would be. I mean, look. Right, because Blanka's got to go in at some point. He's got to go in at some point. You can do shit the way he's got to do. You can't do that much to Sonic Boom. You can do shit to Blanka Ball. You can lariat it. On reaction, I think. Well, if you're ready for it. If the mental stack gets you, which is kind of Blanka's game plan, if the mental stack gets you, then you're fucked. But that's the idea, is that if it's the mental stack that's getting you, it's a little bit less on the tools. So, in terms of the set, we're going to see an uphill matchup. Yeah! Street Fighter 6 at Tuesday Trials Grand Finals. Street Fighter 6 at every Tuesday Trials Grand Finals. Thank you very much, the mix-up. Well, actually, it's probably a relatively variable bat time, but it's always the same bat Twitch channel. And always on Tuesdays, so it's not that variable. It doesn't change that much. It might sometimes be at 9:30, sometimes at 9:20. But it's always Tuesday night on CFG Tuesday Trials. Twitch channel. Channel number 5. Should do that more. I'm tired of like really complicated perfume commercials. I've been getting a lot of ever since I let YouTube know that I'm a girl now. They're like, oh, so you want just the weirdest fucking perfume commercials that any human or god could ever conceive of. Like, no, actually, believe it or not, I just don't want male beauty products. But like, you can keep advertising in games and stuff to me. It doesn't need to be eyeliner. I'll let you know if I'm into eyeliner. Well, I won't, but you'll find out anyway because you steal my information. I will grant you the lack of a projectile for Zangief here. I mean, like, how do you not get chipped out? How do you not get chipped out if you're Zangief? Just the threat of CA. Just with that, I'm like, go my child. Then Blanka simply says, go my child. So in that situation, granted. But also, in every matchup, if you're except for the mirror, if you're Zangief and you're on a sliver, well, even in the mirror, if your opponent's not on a sliver, any matchup, if you're Zangief and you're on a sliver, you're just right. If you're a traditional grappler, Zangief, Rook and Fantasy Strike, Potemkin, and you're on a sliver of health, you're just fucked. It doesn't matter what the matchup is what I'm trying to convey upon you. I like to play for that space there because I don't know if this is what GalaxyBrAn and Ironzhangief are thinking, but what I'm thinking is, you know, he's pretty close. Oh my god, the drive rush Amazon River run just to get in, just to get the Oki. He doesn't need to hit, he just needs the Oki. Oh my god. Well, there's a matchup where Zangief can be on a Heavenly Potemkin Buster exists. It does exist. It's a relatively high-risk option that only works in a specific circumstance. In a cast that has a lot of characters that can hit you safely from full screen with disjoints or projectiles, but it does exist, and it does do a lot of damage. I think you're still up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. I'm sorry, it's up Shit Creek without a paddle. Schitt's Creek is a TV show about a wealthy family who loses everything on account of their many financial crimes, I believe, and has to go to some minor inheritance they have in a town called Schitt's Creek. You're not there without a paddle. You're just up Shit Creek, the waterway made of feces. And you don't have a paddle, so you got to paddle with your hands. It's disgusting. It's a horrible time. What is the name of that emote? Yeah, it's listen. I never claim to be mentally well, or to say things that don't make you afraid. But I also never claim to try to do or be any of those things. I know what I'm about. And what I'm about is deranged ramblings. And a 2-2. First set of grand finals. GalaxyBrAn takes the first round of game 5. Putting us closer to ending the set altogether. Although if Ironzhangief can put together 2 rounds in a row right now, we will go to a bracket reset. This has been a very close set, despite the fact that I haven't said very much about it. It has been a very close set between 2 incredibly good players. I like the drive impact there. Drive impact, I feel like, is an option that gets better deeper into sets, and we see just an incredibly long Blanka pressure string. I also believe in Blanka as he hits the level 3. Now, I don't think that this will kill, as it has not burned out. And I think Brenna makes it do more damage. Yeah, see. You see what I mean? I feel like most level 3s, they would have done more than that. I know that Blanka needs to do more than that, but I want to be validated in my belief. I think that's it. The command throw does a lot of damage. We will not see a bracket reset. GalaxyBrAn claims the throne once more. I'm pretty sure he's claimed the throne before. I heard something unplug. I sure hope that wasn't me.